Well, tell us about this grief cruise, please, because we want to welcome some guests that we have calling in today.
Yes, we have a very exciting. We have the grief cruise coming up in February to the Caribbean, and we did this last year. It was our first adventure with the Bereavement Cruise because, we went into it with a little bit of excitement but trepidation. You go on a cruise, which is, a fun time, a relaxation time, a vacation time, and do you really want to couple that with grief work and bereavement and workshops? And the answer that we found out is a resounding yes. Where at first I thought, well, how could you mix these two together? Well, we have this young couple on the line here from Colorado, and we met when we did our first cruise, and we had about 30 people on the cruise. It was small, just getting it going and trying to see how it works, the venue on a ship. But it was such an incredible time, and I just think it's best to have John and Cindi on the line and to tell us about how they heard about the cruise, what they did on the cruise, and just how it impacted their life, because I think they're going on this next cruise as well. So, John, Cindi, are you on the line?
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, Cindi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. John had to step outside, but I can speak for him also. We met Mitch. We didn't actually meet you, Mitch. We heard one of your lectures at Children's Hospital, and then I followed you on Facebook, and I saw the flyer for the Bereavement Cruise, and I immediately knocked my husband down and said, we have to go on this. So really, and the anticipation of that cruise was somewhat very interesting, because how do you mix a cruise on Carnival Cruise Line and associate that with grief? Kind of an oxymoron for me at first, especially sitting there waiting to go on board the ship and everybody looking to party, and I'm thinking, am I going to be crying this whole time or what? Mitch, you can testify for this. We laughed, we cried, we held hands, we hugged, we did the memorial walk that night, the walk to remember, the candlelight, and the closing ceremony was just incredible. I met people that I could open myself up with and share with that understood what we were going through.
Cindi, tell us about your journey of grief, please.
We held each other a lot during that time and just kind of tried to search in the dark for different ways to heal. It's been 5 years, and our loss is not as raw as it was in the beginning, but it still hurts all the time. And I listened to Glenn a while ago, and Glenn talked about how you can blend joy with grief. I never thought that was true, but with the proper healing, I think you can. Anyone can.
Well, it's going to be so wonderful for you to spend time again with people that you don't even have to explain why you're sad.
No, and actually the whole cruise, we were only there 3 days, and at the end of the third day, we all said, "Oh, this has got to be longer next time," because we met some incredible friends, and Mitch will attest to this. We had everybody on the dinner at the dinner time. The whole room was laughing at us because we were just having such a great time. And at one time, somebody walked by, and they said, "We want to be part of that group." Mitch looked at me and he said, "Oh, you don't want to go through what we went through to be part of this group." It was funny, that people looked and they didn't even know that we were a grief group.
No, and we all started holding our laughter, and here we're laughing about grief. I mean, because it was like, oh my God, they only knew. But, oh, you guys are having so much fun. But it showed how we transcended our pain when we're together. I think that's what's so important about the cruise ship, that, we talk about synergy. And synergy is that the sum is greater than the means. And when we're grieving, we're not whole. We're missing a part of ourselves. And so when we get together with a bunch of other people, together we make that synergy happen, because alone we're not full, and our cup is not full. So when other people come together, our cup fills and it overflows, and we start laughing and going to behaviors that we had before our grief that we normally would try to contain by our oh no, I'm not going to enjoy, I'm not going to have fun. But when you can't help yourself, and the more we try to contain it, we're like kids in the church trying to hold back the laughs, and it felt so good, didn't it? I mean, you and I and your husband sat, I think, at the bar till a late night one night, didn't we?
I think we closed the bar.
I think we did close the bar, listening to Irish songs.
I just have to say, when you look at the group that will be facilitating this year, there is just a wealth of knowledge within all of them. Each one has a different aspect of grief and healing to share with us. And like Mitch said, if someone wants to attend and they choose not to go to a certain workshop and go to another one or just hang out with us, it's all good. I mean, whatever you do, it's completely up to the individual.
That's a great way of encouraging people that might be listening that think, oh gosh, I'm sort of on the fence. What else can you say to encourage them?
Well, I think the way we closed with, I think everyone was at the closing. There were a lot of people I hadn't seen until the closing. And I don't think there was a dry eye, but it was more a tear of both gratitude, grief, and joy. And just knowing that you don't have to do this alone.
We wish you continued love and peace and healing on your journey. And thanks for calling in today and encouraging others. The host of Grief Chat, heard on AM 1460, FM 97.7, KDWA in Hastings.